bringing the people behind our food to life.
What is the big deal about farm to school? It seems to be a lot of people are talking about farm to school these days.
They are, and I think that the reason folks are interested in farm to school is that it answers questions and problems from a number of different perspectives. We can look at farms and our farm economy and losing farmland and open space, and we can turn to farm to school to help solve that problem in a small way, but it does make an impact on that issue. And then we can also look at it from the perspective of our children's health. And certainly the fresh fruits and vegetables that come from a farm taste better than a carrot that's traveled 1,300 miles. And so we want our kids to have that experience of eating really fresh product. And when they do, they keep eating it. It becomes a way of life for them. And I think in addition to that, we are able to, through the farm economy, really have an economic development impact in communities as well. We keep people employed, we keep feed stores around, we keep rural economies going by our investment in the farm economy. And I think lastly, when we look at farm to school, it approaches the issue of children's health not simply from you need to eat more fruits and vegetables because they're healthy for you, but it approaches it from the aspect of where does your food come from? Can you be involved in actually growing your own food through a school garden? There's that whole hands-on approach where, you know, when you plant a seed or you plant a transplant, and little by little it grows, and all of a sudden there's a tomato. It's really rather magical, I think, for everybody, and particularly for kids. So when they really become involved in seeing how their food's grown, in knowing who grows it, and in learning about agriculture and how it affects their health, then that really makes an impact in their life. And it's not simply eating oranges because it has vitamin C.
You were there at the very beginning, I understand.
Close to.
Tell me about the birth of the farm to school movement.
Happy to. I would say that farm to school happened in two places somewhat simultaneously and very differently. The first program that started that I was somewhat involved with was in Santa Monica, California. And there was a parent there who really just wanted his kids to eat healthier than what he saw being served in the cafeteria. And Santa Monica had a salad bar. They had a salad bar in, I think it was all 15 of their schools. And in this one school, McKinley Elementary, there were maybe 10 kids out of 500 eating the salad bar every day. And so this parent decided to transform the salad bar into a farmer's market salad bar. And he worked with the local farmer's market to get that product, to put fresh fruits and vegetables that were bought from the farmer's market the day before onto this salad bar in McKinley Elementary. Now I have to tell you, when he approached the food service director with this idea, the food service director, Rodney Taylor, his first thought was, this parent has way too much time on his hands. And from that moment on, Rodney Taylor stayed out of this. And the parent, Bob Gottlieb, was the one who really organized this project with a lot of help from a lot of people. And the first day that that salad bar opened with fresh product from the farmer's market, including lettuce and kiwis and strawberries and oranges and just really wonderful fruit and vegetables, about 150 kids chose the salad bar that day. So it went from 10 to 150 kids. And I can tell you now, a number of years later, that number has averaged out at about 125. It stayed at about 125. Now, the first day of that salad bar, Rodney Taylor was watching, the food service director, and when he saw all those children choosing of their own volition to eat the salad bar, as he said, he became a believer. And it was then that he worked to institute that salad bar in the rest of the schools. And he has since moved from Santa Monica to another school district in Southern California and has done the same wonderful work. So at the time that this movement was happening in Santa Monica, there were also efforts happening in Florida from a very different party. There was a group of growers called the New North Florida Cooperative in the Panhandle of Florida. And this was a group of very low income African American farmers. and they were working with a gentleman from USDA. And through this cooperative, the gentleman from USDA helped develop a market in the schools by going around and talking to food service directors and saying, you know, is there a product that you think your kids would eat that you don't have? And the product that he found that people said the most was collard greens. And these farmers knew how to grow collard greens. And so they started growing collard greens for about 10 schools in that Florida panhandle. And they went from having really no equipment at all to getting a refrigerated truck, processing these collard greens into a rough chop and a fine chop, bagging them, freezing them, and delivering collard greens to about 300,000 students a year in Florida, Mississippi, and Georgia. And that started at about the same time as what was happening in Santa Monica. So I really just love this contrast, because you have the parent really concerned from the child's health, you've got the farm side really concerned about farmers' income, and both of those are motivators to start Farm to School. And those were the first two programs that officially started in the United States. But when we talk about Farm to School, I think it's also important to realize that we're talking about something that's happened for decades and for generations past, that disappeared and that is now coming back.
Explain that. Why did, I mean, it seems a natural thing that you would bring food in locally to feed the institutions you have locally.
Right.
Why did that change, and why is the push coming back now?
Well, I think a lot of the reason that changed is that number one, we started to lose our farms, so that became an issue. Number two, the whole issue of making sure that products come safe. People want products that are coming in and that are considered safe. And what that means generally is more processing, so that you have things come in a processed form. I've been privileged to attend the National School Nutrition Association meetings for the last few years, and they have anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000 food service directors that go to those. And over the last few years, I've really noticed a change away from sessions that say, get everything as processed as you can, to keep including fresh fruits and vegetables in the meals that we're serving, and making a move in that direction. And so you kind of see a push and a pull within food service on these two tensions. And, you know, many times people say, oh no, it's coming from the farm, it can't be safe. But, you know, the product that's being delivered from the broker to the school, it came from a farm. So it's you know, looking at these, the thought processes, particularly in urban areas where folks are further removed from farms, and really getting them back into touch, you know, with that product that, you know, is very safe, that is very clean, that is very good for children, and working to reintroduce that.